Jema, everyone. Wonderful to resume our Vedic studies. I was looking forward to this. And a Happy New Year, in case we haven't met since the New Year. So I was thinking that we would begin as planned with the first 15 minutes in Samvad. You've had some time over the holidays to think about some of the content of this study. I wonder if Shivoham was a moment that supported you. And if you have any questions, any insights, this is a great time to share that. Let me put this in gallery mode so I can see you, and then we can go from there. Yeah. Marinella.
Yes, Jema, everyone. So yes, I spent a lot of time through the holidays going over the verses and thinking about the Shivam, and some days I wake up and it's actually in my head. It's just running in my head without me thinking about it. I think it's good because it's a way to keep my mind quiet. And so I wrote this thing, and I do have a question. So this is what came for me. So through the process of negation, I am becoming nothingness as I shed, detach from superimpositions, adjectives, labels. But this nothingness is wholeness, fullness. I am not becoming, I already am. This is not a transformation, but an awakening from unconsciousness. And then this question came to me. So during meditating on Shivoham, I did feel, and I feel that sense of okayness, peace, steadiness. But then the question that I have is like, now that I somehow touch that, how do I stay there and yet be involved in the transactional world without falling asleep? How do I stay there? Because the transactional world is so busy, so involved that there's always this pulling and pushing. And I don't want this Shivoham moment to be just that moment when I sit down and I'm quiet. I would like to feel it always, if that's possible.
As long as you are in the body, as long as we are in the body, our inner Shiva is obliged, trapped, sometimes seduced into, but mostly trapped in samsara, in the reality of the transactional life. Even if you remove the world, your bliss is punctuated by hunger, by thirst, by need to urinate, by the need to sleep. These are all demands on the physical part, aspect, the incarnation that Shiva is in, which is you, Marinella. So that complete bliss is only to be achieved after dropping the body. So there are two kinds of mukti or two kinds of moksha. One is within the body, one is after dropping the body. While we are in the body, please understand that the bliss cannot be an ongoing experience of bliss that your brain experiences. There will be moments of difficulty, disturbance, distraction. Three kinds of suffering always come to us. The suffering of our own body mind, suffering caused by other people's body and mind, and suffering caused by events that are outside our control, like tsunami or the hot weather or whatever. You can call it nature. These three kinds of suffering cannot be circumvented. However, a Marinella who has cognitive understanding of the inner Shiva nature, who can go back to it, touch it, would be better able and equipped to stay afloat despite these three kinds of suffering. And you will not create a high level of toxicity for yourself and others. Versus a Marinella who was completely asleep to this inner Shiva. So understand that any teacher or any person who says, I am in uninterrupted bliss, is faking it. But someone who says that I know how to find my bliss despite adverse circumstances is pretty accurate. If 100-pound weight is on your body of emotional problems or physical problems, it will be fake to say I'm in 100% bliss. However, even in the most excruciating time, mentally we can unhook and go and touch that, which then rejuvenates us to deal better ways with the outer weight. So our goal is that we can translate that bliss into well-being, inner space, and moments of deep bliss by knowledge. Through knowledge, we navigate the transactional reality. And then we pray to Ishvara, to the outer Shiva. Inner Shiva is Atma, outer Shiva is Ishvara. We pray that when death comes to us, it is our final exit into our Shivahood forever. Yeah. And I won't be your guide at that time. You will be your own guide at that time. Yeah. And I'm pleased to hear what you said, because initially you said, I am becoming nothingness. And then you added in your contemplation that I already am. So I saw how you were creating a didactic of falling deeper and deeper into the knowledge, and I appreciated that. Yeah, well done.
Thank you, Shunya. Thank you.
All right.
Jema, Shunyaji, Happy New Year. Nice to see everybody. Thank you, Marinella, for the question. It's a very similar contemplation to what I've been having. And I think mostly what I want to share is my experience of the process of the churning of all of this, which is really interesting to me. I am also finding it challenging in the transactional reality, which is very, very involved in my life. I am finding more and more dreams actually where I am releasing and awakening and being able to be the observer. in the samsara. So I just wanted to share that as a point of process. So I've been finding that really fun, actually, to start really standing in that witness place in my dream state.
Interesting. Okay, Gemma. My pronunciation of Sanskrit will be strange because my nose is stuffy right now. You might have heard of the famous pollution that Delhi has in winter, because apart from the traffic, which I mean, the cars are pretty regulated for their pollution level, but in Punjab, which is a state north to Delhi, around Makar Sankranti, they harvest the crop of wheat and then they burn the chaffing for centuries. And all that smoke comes in winter here. So that smoke plus the winter fog and then the traffic makes a very interesting composition. So my nose has decided to become stuffed because of it. It gets better and then I just went out. So it's again like that. So we're speaking a bit in like I don't have a nasal sound. All right. Any other question? Good to see your smiling faces. Any comments? Archana? Archana, did you raise your hand by any chance? Okay. Am I missing anyone? Please speak up. Okay.
Arjuna did want to speak. He's
Oh.
he's not unmuted.
Yeah, I unmuted myself. So, no, I just wanted to, Jai Ma, and Happy New Year. Something you just said, Shunyaji, in response to Marinella, really snapped something together for me. So I want to underline it right now, which is, you said, I don't remember the exact words, but it was like you are the incarnation of Shiva. And Shivoham, I've been working on, using it, but it's something of I am the incarnation of Shiva that just clicked. So that was very I don't know, very enlivening. I just felt some kind of surge of very clear energy, thinking of myself as an incarnation of Shiva. So thank you.
Yeah, and then as you allow this to click so that you don't get caught up in the Puranic stories of who is Shiva.
Right.
And so then go back to the first session on what is Shiva, because
Right.
the everyday beetle and grasshopper is also an incarnation.
Yeah.
But it's great to accept yourself embodied divinity. Then it's just so much easier that
Yeah.
that Shiva principle is choosing to be in in Arjuna's body being and having these experiences, then it's just easier, one way to think. Yeah.
Well, it's very freeing, is what I
Very
feel. It's
freeing. Yeah.
very
Yeah.
freeing. It's just very
Indeed.
like I can just swim. I don't have to think about how to move, So
Yeah,
thank
and
you.
one way to swim is you let your hands and feet go and you don't clutch anything.
That's
And
right.
then each of us can swim through samsara. It's all the clutching.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, let's open our document. Anyone else? Did I miss anyone else? Okay, wonderful. So let's open that document where I have provided you the verses. And a thought came that I should just speak it out slowly and then you can follow me line by line. Om Sena Bhavatu Sahana Manaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvina Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. Manobuddhahankar Chittanidaham. You can chant. Nacha Shrotra Jivhe Nacha Ghrana Netre Nacha Vyoma Bhumir Natejo Navayuhu Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. Nacha Prana Sangyo Navai Panchavayu Nava Saptadhatur Nava Panchakoshaha Navakmani Padam Nachopastapayu Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. Name Dvesharagao Name Lobhamoho Madoneva Meneva Matsarya Bhavaha Na Dharmo Na Jartho Na Kamo Na Mokshaha Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. Na punyam na papam na saukyam na dukkham na mantro na tirtham na veda na yajnaha aham bhojanam naiva bhojyam na bhokta. Again. Na punyam na papam chant. Na saukyam na dukkham chant. Na mantro na tirtham na veda na yajnaha aham bhojanam neva bhojyam na bhokta chidananda rupaha shivoham shivoham. Next. Na mrityur na shanka na me jati bhedaha pita neva me neva mata na janma na bandhur na mitram gurur neva shishyaha chidananda rupaha shivoham shivoham. Okay, very good. Now I will try to complete verse 4 and 5 today, if possible. And then verse 6 is more of a expansion upon the nature of Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. And then I will spend some more time really explaining then what we are not and what we are. In Ayurveda, when we teach health, it is more important to first tell a person what not to eat. Because even if we tell them what is good for them, if we don't tell them what doesn't work for them, then they will go on poisoning themselves and there will be no benefit of the supplements. So we say, or the better food. So we say first what you're not, and then we expand more into what you are. So from that perspective, verse 6 is very important from that perspective of what you are, or what you should eat from that perspective. So now look at verse 4. It says, na punyam na papam. At this level, we jivas, the everyday person in the transactional reality, it is ruled by one supreme law. And that one supreme law is the law of karma. And it is a fact that if I chant for 3 minutes for the well-being of myself or all beings, or if I chant Om for 3 minutes, then according to this law, 3 minutes worth of punyam or positive credit is put in my cosmic bank. It's a fact. And if I take 3 minutes worth of cursing someone or thinking negatively or privately thinking negative thoughts, then 3 minutes of negative karma are added to my bank. It's a fact. Your every action has an equal and opposite reaction in the transactional reality of Ishvara, of Shiva. It is my own reality, but this is where I dwell in. Just like you don't know the law of gravity, but it's working. In the same way, the law of karma is working. Period. Now, at every moment, we are generating punyam, which is positive future karma, or papam, which is negative karma. Positive karmas accumulated through living beings' actions, speech, thoughts, create favorable circumstances in this lifetime or the immediate next one or some future lifetime. And the papam or papa, which becomes papam, accumulated, creates negative karma. Negative circumstances for future. This is 100% true. And your immediate positive circumstances, also 1 hour later, may be based upon your current thoughts, speech, and actions. And 1 lifetime and 10 lifetimes later. So we are in this lifetime, in every lifetime, we are the author of our own suffering and joy. That is why in the Vedic world, we have a lot of mandatory karmas, like prayer to the sun, taking care of our elders, not cursing anyone even behind their back, like that. Better to curse them in front of them. Look here, I'm very upset with you, blah, blah, blah. This is better. So, because we know the law of karma, that is papam, and punyam is when nobody is watching you and you think a positive thought, may all the people in the world be peaceful, may all the people, nobody is watching you, your account is growing of punyam. Fact. Now, this only matters to the life of created by what is this does not apply to your deepest nature. As a result, even if you are surrounded in a toxic life with toxic people, with toxic situations, with incurable disease and bankruptcy and all kinds of problems, which is what has become unconsciously created by the divine power within you flowing through the ego and creating all these karmas. Still, when you meditate or you go within, you actually go beyond the karmic net of good and bad. You actually do that. And the more you connect with this true nature of yours, the more you start transcending the karmic net. The karmic net. So what that means is that a lot of the future karmas that were meant to come to you, plus and minus, don't come to you. You become more kind of free to navigate your life from a deeper place. Are you understanding what I'm saying? You start living in a discharged karmic space. It's not so. The only karma that you cannot break is the karma of the body. So if the body was meant to live till 84 years, 3 days, and 8 seconds, it will live exactly that. That karma you cannot cut short. But many other karmas, including negative karmas, will not matter. So I'm not teaching law of karma. What I'm trying to show is that your true nature is beyond karma. Okay, so this is what the first line means, papam punyam. This is what it means. And as a result, what is released due to papam punyam is Saukyam. Saukyam is another word for pleasure, and dukkha means sorrow. Sorrow and pleasure come to us from punyam gives us pleasure, and papam gives us displeasure, sorrow. But our true nature is beyond that. Then something we all do, something that the Vedas themselves have prescribed in the early part of the Vedas, where they don't teach about the self, where they teach about transactional reality. They say it's good to chant mantras. You all know what that means. It's good to go on pilgrimages. It has some benefit. Tirtha means pilgrimage. To follow the Vedas instruction, and yagya, fire ceremonies. And also pancha yagyas, which in karma yoga we'll say that there are 5 kinds of good actions, good yagyas. Yajna is another spelling for it, and yagya is been simple one for you is yajna here. Yajna can be either a fire ceremony, or yajna can be sacrifices made towards family, sacrifices made towards guru, sacrifices made for suffering humanity, sacrifice made for animals, plants, nature, for environment and for its creatures. And fifthly, sacrifices or reverence given towards God, Ishvara. These 5 kinds of sacrifices are called yajna. All these things, this line, mantra, tirtha, veda, yajna, this is the prescription for generating punyam, positive karmas, and as a result, pleasure. Right? This is a 100% sure short formula. However, look at this Vedic teacher. He says that your true nature is not even dependent on whether you could chant a mantra or not, whether you could go on a pilgrimage or not. whether you could study the Veda or not, or whether you could complete the yajna or not. And herein lies a very big this is a poster verse for Vedic wisdom, that because if it had said, your true nature depends upon chanting mantras, going on pilgrimages, studying the Veda, and performing the yajnas, and then and only then you get a passport to heaven or godliness or spirituality, then it would have become a dogmatic teaching. But here we are being told the truth, and there is not even a hair between the truth and the truth telling. And so they are saying that no, your true nature is not dependent on any of this. And this, in my humble opinion, is really a reflection of the spiritual essence of the Vedic wisdom. Then the third line says, Aham bhojanam deva bhojyam na bhokta. So bhojan literally means food. But this is not just food, which is the food of one sense organ, the mouth, but it's food to the eyes, food of the ears, food of the sense of touch. So all kinds of objects, sensory objects, are foods for our senses, right? We get hungry for touch, hungry for some, if we are alone too long, we get hungry for some sound. We get hungry for hugs. We get hungry for food, physical food. So, bhojanam literally means, bhojanam means sensorial objects, food. And here it is saying that in fact, you are separate from the enjoyable object, the foods for your five senses. Then the act of enjoying, you're listening to the music, even those sensations, or somebody's caressing you, your mother or father are touching you, you visited them, and they're like, oh, come, come, come. Okay, that's very good. And there is something that's enjoying within you. Your ego is collecting all these sense. But what if you stood apart from it? None of these has anything to do with you. Because you don't need these foods to fulfill you, as many of you may have experienced that it's not necessary. So I am beyond even the very act of I am neither the object that I'm enjoying. I'm not the enjoyable object, the act of enjoying, and the enjoyer. I am separate from that. I am Chidananda Rupa. I am ever blissful. Objects come and go, objects may be deprived from me, but when I sit in contemplation of my innermost being, my true nature, then I'm bliss incarnate. So, Shivoham, Shivoham, I am that Shiva. This is what this verse means. Now we go on to so as a result, I am not virtue or sin. I'm not that. I'm not defined by virtue or vice. I'm not defined by pleasure or pain, my true nature. Come, come, come inside. I need no mantras, no pilgrimage, no scriptures, no rituals, really, to be truly this beautiful Shiva within. Neither am I the experiencer, the experienced and the experience itself of enjoyable objects. Who am I? I am Shiva, the ever blissful consciousness. Now we come to verse 5. So it is saying, na mrityur. So I would say that this is, I am not, it's fear of death, but it's also like I am not this body that dies. I am not that body that dies. And Shankar here means many things. Shankar can mean fear. It can also mean uh, typecasted, like, so and so died. In India, it can also be a caste, but like such and such person of this gender, this family from, Southern America, whatever, or Peru or North America, all those distinctions. None of that. Jati is another such distinction. Jati also means species. Oh, did a human being die or did a horse die? No, a human being died. Oh, no, it was a horse. None of that. The body, the body's distinctive characteristics, its marks, its creed, its caste, its race. No, none of that. No, I'm not that. And I have no father, no mother. So this is a big one because we are so like, I am so and so, son of so and so, daughter of so and so, grandchild of so and so, great grandchild of so and so. We say that, even I say that. It's on our resume. But all that is fine for your transactional interface. But who are you? And to come to that, to become biologically free from a body that can die, from caste, creed, race, species that distincts this mother, this father, being free, completely free. I have no father, no mother, for I was never born. For I was never born. Pita neva, me neva mata na janma. In fact, one questions. Because for something to be born, something has to end, to begin. To begin, we say a newborn, like as if there's, but something has to, but if I'm not that piece of matter, then I did not die. The I did not die. I just changed my clothes. So, so I deny birth then. And bandhu here means relative. Mitra means friend. Guru means teacher. Shishya means student. And then neither am I a relative. I'm a relative of so and so, I'm a relative of so, I'm an auntie of this, uncle of that, nor a friend. This is not nastiness or skepticism, but this is like, if your true being, which is formless and boundless, was standing here, your own child won't recognize you. Your own cousin will not see you. They only know the body, which they think was, which arrived on this date and which extinguished on this date and was buried or burnt on this date. They only know that. So nor am I a relative, nor a friend, nor a guru, nor a shishya. So to put guru and shishya again is a very advanced way of saying that while these are great things to be, we are proud to be guru, proud to be shishya of a guru, but at that level, even these highest roles, they are left behind in the carnival of the transactional engagement. When we come within, we become this formless, boundless, ever blissful Shiva. I am the ever blissful consciousness. Let us chant again both these last verse 4 and 5, then we take any questions. Just chanting. Na punyam na papam na saukhyam na dukkham na man. Okay, that line you chant. Na punyam na papam na saukyam, na dukkham, na mantram, na tirtham, na veda, na yajnaha, na mantro, na tirtho, na veda, na yajnaha. Let us call it yajna for ease. Aham bhojanam neva, bhojyam na bhokta, chidanantarupaha, shivoham, shivoham. Verse 5. Na mrityur na shanka, na me jati bheda, pita neva me mata, pita neva me neva, mata na janma, na bandhur na mitram, gurur neva shishyaha, na bandhur na mitram, gurur neva shishyaha, chidanantarupaha, shivoham, shivoham. Beautiful. Right. Okay. So we've concluded 5 verses. We will spend a little more extensive time on the 6th. Probably 2 more classes will conclude this teaching. I'm happy. I welcome any comments, questions, insights. How are you feeling? Yes.
Shinichi?
Rachel? Yes.
Shinichi, I was wondering if you could repeat verse 5. I'm not sure I know how the pronunciation for the Pitta Neva Me, Neva Mata Na Janma. Can you chant it? Because I'm wondering if it's printed correctly.
Why don't you say it?
It's Pitta Neva Me, Neva Mata Na Janma.
Yeah.
So that's the separation. Sorry, I was just
Yeah. Pitta neva me, neva mata na janma.
okay. Thank you. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Rachel?
Yes, I just wanted to say when I read the words or the meaning of na janma, for I was never born or not born, it just is so profound, and you know the truth of it. It's so deep.
Yeah. Yeah. It is deep, and each verse is just ringing with profound knowledge. And I'm glad that you experienced the depth of it. Yeah. It's like we believe we were born, so we fear we'll be extinguished. Yeah. Arya?
I welcome you back. I welcome me back. It's been so many questions have come up studying these verses. And as we move on, some of them seem rather silly, but I'm delighted that to see you back with us. So the essence of all this, I mean, it seems to me that we're moving on the path of truly realizing that we are that this is the essence of all creation, this Aishwara, and the essence of us individually. It seems to me like the more I look at this, if I start to contemplate, it's just layers on layers on layers. It's sort of like those kaleidoscopes that you look at, and all of a sudden they bloom into all many different manifestations. So I'm trying to stay centered to have a little bit of to develop a tranquil mind amongst all of this vast blooming of different perspectives and seeing many layers. I mean, it's said that life occurs in layers, and I can see it so clearly, but it's a little tendency to be overwhelming. So I welcome back your guidance and thank you.
Yeah. And I think what I will share with you in the next 2 classes will become a place to settle.
Right. Thank you.
Because you, Arya, have just walked into your first teaching, deeper teaching, in a very high teaching.
Mm-hmm.
And it's demanding of you to let go of whatever you believed was you.
Mm-hmm.
So in verse 6, and then my commentary will help you let go, but not like let go from a place of disdain. Because we must understand at this point that all of this transactional nonsense is still under the purview of Shiva.
Mm-hmm.
So we're letting go only so that we can grope our way to who we are. And once you have that, it's just our goal should only be to ease up in our transactional reality. I don't think any of your goals right now should be to have complete renunciation, which this verse is demanding. Because by the time you are ready for that complete renunciation, the questions will not remain.
Right.
So, and as such, what does complete renunciation mean? Because you still have to eat, so feed the body. You still have to, lead out your life. Basic artha kama is needed. So, I think you'll find a centering that happens as I expound more upon that Shiva. And you'll know where not to get too caught up, and you'll know where to come back. That's really good. Like, if I'm not a guru or a shishya in my case, then I can be a guru, but I come back to being this inner Shiva. See? Or I can be my guru shishya, but I come back to being this inner Shiva. What a lovely place to come back to.
Yeah.
And we all go back home to that same Shiva. So it'd be really great if you went back to the first class and reviewed the meaning of Shiva. Yeah.
And certainly, just to say that the void of your absence, it makes really clear the importance of community. I mean, we have to be constantly taken back to the deeper thought. I mean, it's such a very important thing to cultivate community that supports this sort of creation of a new roadmap.
I mean, you need one more person in the community, which is me, for sure. And everybody is a bonus because their questions you get to listen to. So in the Vedic tradition, this kind of teaching, I think it'll be traumatic to just read it and try to live by it. You have to have a teacher to guide you through this and to tell you that, okay, this is how we are heading, and we're not trying to throw everything out and reinvent ourselves and just, but let's just begin simple. We're bringing ease into all these roles and really gaining insight into who we are. So these kind of advice helps us in the beginning, for sure. And then if there is a mindful community which is asking mindful questions, sometimes they may think up things that we've not thought of. So that helps us. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. I think it's really very simple if you think about it, don't you? When you start going through the categories and you go, checked off my list,
Yeah.
and you can bring more ease into those areas. I'm here in India right now. I'm with my father, and I am kind of in his service, playing the role of a daughter and an acharya because I'm reading him the Bhagavad Gita, which is getting a private satsang every evening. Um, uh, it's really nice to not be a daughter at the end of the day, to not be taking care of a father. It's more like it's consciousness flowing through. And it's just easier. So that will help all of you. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So why don't we do a check-in with one word? What would you like to close your eyes and imagine just go back into this pure flowing consciousness that is ever present. That's the important thing. Something that's ever present need not be born or need not be extinguished. It's just ever present. And imagine this person that you are simply being like a tiny little cartoon character that has been born in these waves. And that cartoon character or this character is cartoon as in it's light. Now it becomes a duck. Now it becomes an elephant. Now it becomes a serious human being, very accomplished, awarded by the president. And now it becomes a little child. Now it becomes a ballerina. And then all the characters disappear, and there's just that flowingness, which is you, and you feel it. You don't need a form because you can take many forms because you don't have any one form. You're formless, and formless is the truth. Boundlessly blissful. Even though those characters had some nicks and burns and aches and pains and ouchies and bumps and birds, falling from the sky and elephants jumping off cliffs and all those things are happening. It doesn't affect this substratum of consciousness bliss. So powerful, it can be or become anything. It has become this whole universe, billions of galaxies, each galaxy with trillions and trillions and trillions of details. And yet all of it is held lightly. That's their true nature. And we're trying to touch that. And all these words that I gave you are ineffective. They're just door openers to the wordless experience of bliss. In this bliss, there is freedom to not have to be something. There is no fear of death, no marks from relatives or genetics or even papam and punyam, even sin and vice they have nothing here. Goodness and badness, they don't belong here. It's too small. It's a very minor conversation. It's nothing. So, welcome back. That's just a little applied meditation. I hope that helped you. Yeah. All right. So I believe In the transactional reality, we're going to watch a clock and let's see, Gemma. I'm going to go back, be the daughter, and just playing off different hats. Okay. I'm neither the daughter nor the guru. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Gemma, everyone.